listening to the Retina UK Talking Books peer support group recorded Thursday, the 5th of March 2026.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our brand new focus interest peer support group called Talking Books. This is the fifth talking series peer support group that we have created at Retina UK, and I'm very, very delighted to be sharing this brand new peer support group and our new facilitators on World Book Day, encouraging and inspiring children to read from an early age for generations. My name is Mark Baxter. I'm the Information and Support Coordinator for Retina UK, and I'm very, very delighted to be welcoming our brand new facilitators, Cindy Peacock and Jane Copsey, to talk about their experiences with audiobooks and also to learn from community that have joined us this evening on how we can move forward with this peer support group. So without further ado, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. I'm going to hand over to Jane and Cindy to introduce themselves. Thank you both for joining us.
Hello, good evening, everybody. So I'm Jane Copsey, and I'm going to be facilitating the club with Cindy. My background is that I've done a little bit of commercial business. I've worked in education and training. I've been lucky enough to have a very varied and successful career. I suffer with RP, and I have now got that it's progressed basically. I can see very little now. So if I make blunders and I press the wrong button or do something silly, please forgive me. But I have got an interest in reading. I've dabbled with a few different softwares and hardwares on reading different books, and I'm really excited that we're going to have a group that are like-minded and we can all share, and we want this to be as inclusive as possible. If you've got any specific questions you want to place to me directly, then please do so. Clearly I'm very nervous because it's the first meeting and I haven't facilitated a club like this before, so bear with me. I'm sure things will settle down as the meeting goes on. And I will stop speaking and hand over to my colleague Cindy.
Hello. So like Jane, I've never done a group facilitation before in relation to Retina UK. And I wanted to do this really because I really enjoy reading. I never really read when I was young at all, and when it was come to English literature at school, I absolutely hated it. And it wasn't until I lost my sight that I got introduced to audiobooks, and it's become almost like an obsession with me, an addiction. I just read all the time. So I have retinitis pigmentosa, and I am completely blind now. I have some light perception when it feels like working. And my background is in the disability sector. I became a social worker about 8 years ago. And yes, and that's it really. The same as Jane, I'm not very good with managing the Zoom meetings because I'm using my iPhone. So if everyone just needs to be patient with us because we're just gonna just blag through really. And we're gonna take turns each years on different sections. And we're also gonna ask for everybody's feedback at specific points. And I'm just gonna turn my camera off while I'm reading my computer screen because otherwise you'll be looking at my ceiling. And I'll let Jane continue.
Thank you. I too am going to turn my camera off for a little while because I can't multitask basically, and I need to see the screen to be able to go through the agenda. So we've done a little bit of preparation. There are lots of people on the call. We will try and get to everybody. But if there's a reason that we run out of time and we have to do things differently, as Mark suggested at the beginning, we have got various ways that you can contribute. And we thought for the launch meeting, really we'd sort of position this as kind of what is it we want to all achieve? Let's hear from everybody, which we might not be able to do live, but hopefully over the course of today and after this meeting, we'll be able to collect all the comments and information and be able to structure the meeting in a way that you all want. And we can all work together to make this as successful as possible. So the first part of the little agenda that Cindy and I put together was really to a discussion, which is quite difficult with so many people, about what we want to achieve in the meeting. So we've just put down a few thoughts. This is not cast in stone or anything, but we were just wanting this to be something that we could sort of start with. So the things that we put down at the beginning about what we want to achieve is we are aware that we won't get everything covered today, but we are hoping to be able to give you lots of ways to interact with us before the next meeting. We want to know what everyone wants from the meetings, and we're aware that we will not be able to necessarily gain everybody's views online today. And also, I'm sure people will want to digest today's meeting, have a think about it, and then input their thoughts and views later on. We are going to set up a WhatsApp group. So we can share some ideas and collate all of those, and we can share the findings at the next meeting. I'm going to hand back to Cindy because there's a few more bullet points and we are a double act.
Some people using their iPhones are able to add their views in the chat today. So if you're able to do that, then please just add your views in the chat, and we're going to collate all of those views, and they'll be transcribed. If you can't do that later on, you can just add your thoughts to the WhatsApp group. There is a lot of people in the call today, so we might not have a chance to give everybody the opportunity to speak. So we want to make sure that we're going to gather as many views as possible. But there will be time for people to speak at future meetings. So we are going to try and make sure that everyone gets the opportunity to speak. Next, Jane, is this bit me? Sorry.
No, it's okay. I mean, we can have a small break at this point to get some views, or we can carry on some of the things that we were suggesting.
I mean, we have like some things that we suggest. Maybe we should run through those first, and then we'll pause, I think.
Yeah, I think so. So I've lost my thought a bit. Sorry. Yeah, some of the things we were talking about when we were talking about setting up the group was that clearly it's about books, and that's probably everybody's passion. And it's about what we read. It's about, how we share that, whether we need to split into groups, whether we don't, etc., etc. But also the other thing is that I don't know how many people on the call are already avid readers and are very happy with their software and hardware. But that's the other thing that this group can help perhaps to support, is where people have got challenges or recommendations or can help out each other over getting getting to the books you want to read and how you get to them, how much they cost, and whether your hardware and software work. So that's something that we thought would be good to get your views from. So it's about what you want from the meetings themselves, how we can use the WhatsApp group, how we can collate information to help with software and hardware, but also whether, for example, Cindy and I were just exchanging information, just having a chat about the kinds of books we like. And clearly we've got different tastes. So things like if we were to decide that in future we would all read one book and review the same book, then some of us are going to be, oh no, I can't possibly read that. And other people would be really, very happy to do it. So it's things like, should we, over the course of the next few meetings, start thinking about different genres and who's interested in what, and put a little wish list together, and things like speakers as well. What kind of speakers would we like? Would we like, software, hardware companies to come in and explain, or would we prefer to have authors, or would we like to give the floor to a small group who have just reviewed the best horror or the best romance, etc.? So this is all about an initial meeting to introduce the talking books group, but we want everyone involved. We want everyone to feel comfortable and included. So I've kind of covered a bit more than I should have done, Cindy. Sorry. So
I mean,
I'm on
how often should we
considerations.
meet? And so, like, should we meet? I've been kind of following your for Don't Worry, Jane. I try not to repeat what you said.
You're on it. You're on it.
Yeah. So how often do people want to meet? Should it be every 2 months, every 6 weeks? And also, does anybody have anyone like something that we were discussing was it's all well and good that all of us here we love reading, but some of us might actually want to be in this book group because we've got children that we like to read too. How is it possible? Are there, how can we support children that are that want to listen and read books? So what I guess we're saying is that we're quite open to literally run this group however the majority of people, or even small groups of people want this group to look what they want it to look like. I was thinking maybe so for example, say that there's a group of people, like 2 or 3 people that actually like mystery, maybe they can read a book and then that little group can share back the views on that book, or one particular person a week, a meeting could, or 2 people could share views on a particular book they've read that want to do that. So I guess what we're saying is we want everybody's ideas and suggestions and thoughts what they would like and how they want it to work.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Does anyone have does anyone have any suggestions for speakers? Do you know authors, or do you think maybe the RNIB, maybe someone from Audible, which is highly unlikely, by the way? And there's other ways that some of us will have ideas about ways that they read books that none of us have even thought of. So, right. So, really, now, who wants to speak first?
So we've got. Sorry, Krishna.
Yeah.
So Charu's put their hand up. They just want to go first, and then we'll come to you, Krishna.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
No problem.
Hi. Good evening, everyone. This is Charu here, and thank you so much for, for having this launch meeting. It's really, really good to be here. I just wanted to say that I do facilitate a book club for blind and visioned, and I do read a lot of audiobooks, and I really like the idea of us, starting something for Retina UK. Just going back to I do understand, with genres, everyone is different. Somebody might like mystery, somebody might like autobiography, but what I've seen in the book club that we do, when we give a book to everyone, even if it's not the type of genre you enjoy, but it's something for you to try, and sometimes people do come back, say, you know what, we would have never picked up this book, but because it was suggested in the book club, it is something which we might enjoy now. So I do feel if we do introduce a book, we all should try reading it, and then, because I feel in the book club, when there is a mix of discussion, mix of reviews, that's when it becomes more interactive and more communicative.
That's a really good point.
That is a good point. Or we could potentially consider, if there's like 20 of us, having 2 books, and you can choose which of those 2 books you want to read, and we can discuss 2 books.
Yes, exactly. I mean, obviously, like today we're 27, 28. If it becomes a very big group, then we might split, right? But like normally, I do have around 15 in my book club, and in 1 hour we do tend to get everybody's views in and rank the book, and we do have people who disagree and people who agree. So that really makes the interaction quite good, and quite people really want to come and join in and really talk about it. So that was my experience with a book club, and how I just wanted to share that with all of you.
Well, thank you, because that's really, really valuable.
I do
Really
agree with that. The only thing that concerns me is that we don't just want this to be a book group that discusses books.
Yeah.
But also all the other things that we were talking about. So therefore, it might be that we think about how we can introduce both of those aspects. Because the whole point of this is that we like reading, isn't it? So we do want to talk about books, but also we want to do other things as well. So I'm just not sure how it'll work. So let's listen to some other people, because I actually agree with you as well. So it's a bit,
Yeah.
Krishna?
Yeah, sorry, we've got a series of Krishna, we've got a series of hands up. We'll go to you, and then we've got
then it'll be Steve, then it'll be Dawn, and then it'll be Scott at the moment.
Yeah, so we're starting to get a lot of feedback coming through. So
and then Sue Cowan,
and then Sue after that. So
yeah, okay. I'll be very quick. First of all, good evening.
Cheers, Krish.
Hello, Krishna.
Yeah, thank you. Hello there, Krishna. Hello there. Hi there, Cindy. Hello there, Jen. Hello, everybody there. And this is Krishna, of course, calling from Glasgow, actually. What I would recommend is to borrowing, where most of us probably will be borrowing. And also I can recommend Caliber Audio as well, because I'm with Caliber Audio for a number of years. They're extremely good, and they got different platforms, to borrow. For example, you can borrow a memory stick that gets posted to your house, and then in a convenient purse, you can listen to the book and put the memory stick back in the purse, and then you can just post it back. It's all free. So, or basically you can even read it on your iPhone and all that. So I would strongly recommend Caliber Audio, and it's all free actually. And that's the first one I want to say. And the second thing is with regard to the frequency, Cindy, what you asked there, because we need a bit of reasonable time, because life is so busy for us with all the other things going, probably, 1 month, maybe a bit short, I would say probably 6 weeks to 8 weeks, 1.5 months to 2 months, maybe more ideal, I think. That's what I would like to say, Cindy, with regard to the frequency of these meetings. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think as well, if I can just come in, I think a lot of the talking series are around about 8 weeks, aren't they, Mark?
That's correct. Yeah, we try to alternate them as much as we can, so we don't have too many talking series in 1 week. Sometimes it's inevitable that they do clash due to speaker availability, but we try to mix it up as we are creating more talking series groups, and we will continue in the not too distant future to bring you more talking series focused interest groups that our community are screaming out for. So more will be revealed later on this year, so no plot spoilers.
Thank you, Krish. That's great.
Thanks, Krish.
Thank you.
We've got Steve next. Thanks, Krish.
Thank you.
Krishna's already covered what I was going to say. I was going to mention.
Sorry, Steve. Sorry.
Sorry. Carry on.
Great minds think alike, Steve.
Or fools never differ.
Right, in that case, Dawn's next.
Hello, everybody. I would like to kind of reinforce what everyone said so far, but I think it would be really interesting if we had a nominated book that we could all read in our own time and then get back and discuss it like other people do in book clubs. I will listen to absolutely anything, whether it's an autobiography or a mystery book or a romance. I don't really care, as long as it's an engaging story. And I think it's really interesting, as Cindy mentioned, to be able to open your mind to all sorts of different genres, something that you might not have been interested in before, whether it's a bestseller or a Booker Prize winner or anything like that. I'd be very happy to listen to it. I also subscribe to Caliber like Krishna does, but also the Daisy books from the RNIB. And I find them really helpful. If you have them on memory sticks, you can have 3 books on one memory stick. So that does keep you entertained for quite a long time. I think it would be quite useful for people to have a discussion, again, as Cindy said, about the hardware and software that we use and how we facilitate and access our reading material. Because I know that I tend to use memory sticks because I use a portable memory stick reader. So I can take that on the train, I can carry it around the house. It's just more accessible. But I know you can listen to Audible books, for example, on Alexa. So that might be something that we could discuss. Just how we access our books would be quite useful.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Excellent feedback.
Thanks very much, Joel. That's very, very useful information. And I do have a walkthrough guide that for those that do have the Alexa smart assistant to be able to unlock different features, so you can read and listen to newspapers, magazines, podcast, etc., you know, to your favorite stations such as Spotify and where else you listen to your books and your reading material. So, you know, I can include that walkthrough in the follow-up email as well.
Lovely.
What about if someone's got an expertise in, so somebody who really uses, I don't know, Alexa a lot, and maybe they can share how they do that. So, of course, I never do that. So, you know, I'd find that useful. So if someone feels that they're actually an expert, not obviously an expert, but they feel that they're quite confident, that would be really helpful, I think.
Yeah, no, we can. I'm sure we can find a tech guru that is au fait with all Alexa features, and also Google Assistant if you prefer to use the Google Assistant as well. So no, that's really good. It's really good. Who we got? I think we've got a round of hands now.
So we've got Scott next, then it'll be Sue Cowan, and then it'll be Sharon. So over to you, Scott, next.
Hello, everyone, and ladies. Excuse my poor English accent. That's Mark's fault. He sent me back to Canada, so I had to revert back. I've been in 2 book clubs. One met monthly, and we talked about the one book. I kind of like that idea, even though I've read some atrocious books. I've read some fantastic ones, but as the ladies said, we all have different joys and likes. So, and the other one was you'd pick your own book and discuss that. But with 20 people, it's too much for me. I found that it was just all over the place. I like the month, but if 6 weeks to 8 weeks is, and I'm a busy man, I'm taking a break in my flooring right now, Mark.
And shoveling snow.
And shoveling snow, yes. We still have about 2 meters. It's going to rain tomorrow, though, Mark. So I personally like the 1 month, even though I'm busy. Depending on the length of the book. That's the other thing. One of the groups I was with in the RNIB, some people didn't have access, or the RNIB did not have the book. So I use Audible as well, and I have access to Libby over here in Canada. So I can usually find the book. I just use my iPhone 15 Pro. I use the Daisy Reader on that, the app, the Easy Reader, and they come in quite nicely through those. I'm not sure if there's any beginners in the group, because it will take a bit of training to learn how to find your chapters and read the books. But so you don't have to get the sticks. I'm not sure. I thought the RNAB was doing away from mailing any type of stuff to you guys. I know they haven't. I know they have in Canada. I know they have in Canada. Anyway, I'll stop talking there and let other people.
Yeah.
Are you calling from Canada?
I am. It's about 2:30 in the afternoon. 5 hours behind you.
Wow.
That's why I'm still destroying my master bedroom.
What part of Canada are you in?
Pardon me? I'm in the capital, Canada, or Ottawa.
Ottawa. Okay, Ottawa. Okay.
Currently +3 though. We were minus 27 yesterday, but we've gone into.
God, that's too much.
Oh no, that's nice. That's refreshing.
Oh my God.
May I just come in on that software situation?
Yeah.
I've been contacted by RNIB about trialing um, a new system which is called Envoy.
Yeah.
And basically, I don't know if anyone's heard of it, but it's quite a small iPod kind of device, which I understand it hasn't, the device hasn't arrived yet, but I have downloaded the software. So the software gets loaded onto your PC, it's Windows based. And then when you get your device, you can plug it in, and your account with RNIB is set up for you to access your profile and all of their books. And apparently, this device can take up to 20 books. And when you plug it back in to the PC, you can manage your titles. So you can archive them, you can delete them, and you can add more. So I have spoken to the lady at RNIB that's trialing this, and I'm waiting for the device to come. So that's something that I'm quite happy to share when it comes as to whether it's of any use to anyone. I don't know if anyone else has been approached about it.
No,
I've heard about
I
it over in
haven't.
Canada.
No.
Yeah.
You have?
But yeah,
Yeah.
I have. Yeah. I just I'm as less as I have to carry, because sometimes I'll be in the train or in the car or doing whatever, and I don't want all kinds of gadgets. The Daisy Reader. Do you have the Daisy Reader in? It's a
Yeah.
little, yeah. Now there has been some problems with those lately. I think the Daisy 3, but there is cost to them. The Envoy, I'm not sure. There'd probably be a cost in that too. So
No, this
just
is free. This is
it's
completely
free.
free.
Okay, good. That's good. I mean, if it works, I'll be waiting to hear from
Yeah.
how it works on your PC. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, this is all good, brilliant feedback, because this is exactly what we wanted to try and do as the first meeting, is just to gather everyone's thoughts and
Yeah.
views so that we can then kind of hone that down. And at the next meeting, we can sort of take some of those points a little bit further.
Well,
We've got.
especially, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I'm just saying that the hands are going up thick and fast. So
Well,
we've got four people in the queue.
I just will end quickly. If you do have a group that picks one book, you just got to make sure that everyone has access to it. I have Audible, I have RNIB, and I have Seal over here in Canada. So I don't have a problem finding the books. But in the group I had in the UK, a lot of times people couldn't get the book, so they weren't willing to read that particular book.
Good point.
Thanks, Scott. Thanks very much. It's good feedback. Well, we will put in the follow-up email literally all the places in the UK where you can actually obtain books from, whether they're a subscription or whether they're free for those living with sight loss. As some you can get reductions. So we will ensure that we do an array of different platforms and devices, as well as I know there are new devices coming out that will be on the market very soon. So and we'll share a little bit more information about that in the follow-up as well. So the next person hand up. Sorry, everybody.
We've got Sue Cowan next, then Sharon, then Ian, then Susanna, and then John. So over to you, Sue.
Hi. Yeah, well, I'm really pleased about this group starting up. I'm a very avid reader, and lots of points that have been raised are very pertinent. I've been a member of lots of different book groups over the years, and the one I'm currently in does the same as a lot of the ones that have been mentioned. You know, we read the same book, all of us, and for the reasons again that have been mentioned, we believe that it's a case of trying to stretch ourselves. There's a member of our group, for instance, who is very keen on fantasy, science fiction and that sort of stuff, which I don't like. So I've had to read some books that I would have avoided at all costs. some of which I've enjoyed, most of which I've hated. Yes, it's good to actually, dip your water into something that you wouldn't have done. And there are some that in other categories that I would never have touched, but I've really enjoyed them. I remember one of the other groups that I have been on this, on Retina UK, and I can't remember which one it was. And we did touch on books for some reason. And it was clear to me that there were a lot of people who didn't know much at all about what was available. And so I think it's very good that we do discuss in a lot more detail about what machines are available, what things, what methods are available of how to access books. I mean, I'm old school because I'm an old woman, but and I've got an iPhone, but I actually don't access my books on it. I'm a bit resistant to change, and I use none of you will ever have heard of this, but it's a Plex Talk machine, which is a large machine, so it's not portable. But what I like about it is that it's got great navigation facilities. And I often drop off when I'm listening to a book, but I don't like missing things, obviously. So it's dead easy to find your way back to where you want to be, because
that's good. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah,
it's got really good bookmark facilities, or even, you don't have to set bookmarks. You can just sort of, time it. You can set 5 minutes. Go back 5 minutes, 10 minutes easily enough, and a lot of them don't do that. So, but anyway, I'm not suggesting that people buy that because it's really old-fashioned, but you know what I mean. There's lots of things that my window cleaner is always telling me to join Audible, but what puts me off that is I'm not quite sure whether you can just get. I know there's a subscription fee, but it's not that really particularly. It's just that I don't think you can always get the books that you want, but I might be wrong about that. So
you can literally get almost every book on there. It is really good
at the time that you want. Can you?
Agreed.
Almost
every single book you can possibly think of.
Right.
Now I will tell you, for those that you have Amazon Prime, Audible is free, and you get one book or credit a month.
All right.
I have to pay.
Even though I've got Amazon Prime?
Yeah, I have to pay. Yeah,
I pay
well,
too.
you shouldn't have to pay then.
Yeah, I think maybe it's different in the UK.
I don't know, because we bought ours in the UK. We were in Battersea when my wife signed up for it, and I was getting my books one a month, but because I was using RNIB as well, I didn't always, because you pay for it or it's a credit. So, but I would
separate.
Yeah, I would look into that, because with Amazon Prime you get the Audible account and one credit a month for free, or you can buy if you want.
I've got a subscription with Audible, and I pay $8.99 a month, and I get one credit a month as well.
Same, yeah, and I also pay for Amazon Prime separately.
Yeah, I do. We'll look into that though. Thank you.
Yeah.
Put all details of that again in the follow-up. I think Sharon's got a question next, or insights.
Okay, I'll try and be really quick, because I actually had one question and it's now led to quite a number. Well, not questions, just comments. Actually, Scott, what you're saying about Prime, I actually heard that during the week. I pay $8.99, the same as the other ladies on the call, and I do need to look into that. If you're paying $8.99 on Audible, I have looked into getting 24 credits in a year, and it's £109, which works out at £4.50 per credit. So it is something to consider if you are able to manage the £109. And apparently you can keep 6 credits over till the next year. I've only started investigating that. I was quite excited about this Audible talking book group, because actually there's a number of book groups I could join, but actually I don't want to read the same book as everybody else, because my friend's part of a book club and she tells me the book she reads and I think I wouldn't enjoy that. So I'm maybe the odd one out here, but I was quite excited about a book club that we could actually come along to, and actually we don't have to read that book, because there's other groups I could join and I've chosen not to because I don't want to read the same book as everybody else, just because I'm just like what I think Susan was saying, of all the different genres. In the main, I only read one book a month. So actually, if that's a book I'm not enjoying, I'm really not going to read it and I'm not going to get very far with my book. So that was one of the things. I do think it's very important that we actually look at, because there doesn't seem to be any other groups out there who are looking at the different technologies. I think it's also Susan who was saying, or maybe the person before that, with regards to the new thing that RNIB is launching. But actually, everything's PC based. I don't have a PC. I only use my iPhone. That's all I've actually got. So actually, other things out there. I never ever had an iPod, but I actually think now that'd be one of the most beneficial things, because I'm sure that has apps on it, and I'd be able to listen to books on that. It's portable. It doesn't need to be plugged into a computer. It's working on app basis, and I could use Audible on that. So any devices that's out there, that's why I've joined this group. It's not to read particular books per month. It's what else is out there that I actually don't know about. What else is out there? I have been on calls to do with Calibre before, and they looked really exciting. I've only been on one call, but actually, how does that really work? So that's what I'm looking for. It's not reading a book per week, per month, per 2 months. It's much more than that I'm looking for. There's plenty of book clubs out there. There's plenty of libraries you can go to for book clubs. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay. Thanks, Sharon. Thank you.
Mark, can you mark down for the ladies to check in for the credits? Because I had 13 and they just sat in my bank account, so to speak. I got one a month and I wasn't using them. And if you have 6 and you have to use them, once you take the credit, it's like buying a book, because you're paying for Amazon Prime or Audible. That just sits in your library, and I have over 18, so I would use them up if you're going to lose them.
Yeah, I'm going to actually, when we come off this call, Scott, I'm actually going to phone. I think Audible's open 24 hours. I'm actually going to make that phone call, because I did read a post on some ages ago, last week before, about exactly what you're saying, and actually slipped off my agenda. So actually, after this call, I'm now going to phone Audible or Prime, I don't know who I've got to phone, and I'll let Mark know, so then Mark knows the information.
No, what you could do is, once our WhatsApp group's up, you can put it on there and feed
Absolutely,
it.
that'd be great. And I did give Mark permission earlier on to add my number to your WhatsApp group. So yeah, and that's the best way of keeping in touch and what's actually happening, because it's like everyone. Sometimes we need to hear something 2 or 3 times before we go, oh, actually, we need to deal with that. So yeah, we're all very busy, and I am now, after this call, the fact that Scott's brought that up again, I'm now going to deal with that.
No, lovely, Sharon. Thank you for that. Thank you. Got Ian. Ian's next. You muted? He's just muted. Oh, there we go.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, Ian. Yes, all good.
Hi there.
We hear you.
Hi.
Great, thank you. I managed to unmute. Well, thank you again for organising the group. It's a great idea. I'm going to try and splurge out as much as possible from what everyone said, but so yeah, I think it's amazing that we've got like the potential to have lots of people here who have all different ways of accessing books, because I think a lot of us have probably had to learn very slowly how to get books if we haven't had, if we've lost access to paper books, how you can get to books. And I think there's probably as many different ways as there are people on this call of how to get possible access to books. So it would be great if we could somehow from this create a resource where we can all share our ways to get access to books, and whether that's a web page or something, or on the emails or however, it would be great. So I guess one of the things I guess that's you've been talking about is what we want to get out of this group, and is it like a book club where it's reading a book a month or every 2 months or whatever, and sharing our thoughts? Or is it a reading club where we discuss how we read things and how we get access to things? Or is it a club where is it a group where we get authors or people in the publishing industry to talk to us, or whatever? So there's a lot of possibilities, I think. So I've been lucky to join. I moved recently to Wales, and I about a year and a half ago, I looked around for things as a blind person, how to join, and I found there was an audiobook club locally, which was run through the local library, but also in association with the Wales blind group Sight Cymru. And it turns out it's quite an amazing thing that they seem to do, which is every month we come together, and through the library they access a selection of audiobooks and hand them out on memory sticks, and we discuss them. And there are
I didn't know libraries did memory sticks.
Yeah, I never know.
Well, it's not a bespoke, it's not a sort of standard thing. Well, this is the thing. It's like I think because they found an enthusiastic librarian and support group to do it, they have got access to audiobooks, which they, so in my club, every month they give you a stick with 4 books on. This is like it's almost quite a big mission to very appreciated by the members. So so we get 4 books, and also because they are generally more senior members, I think it's probably through the Sight Cymru group, they provide a stick audio book reader. So because I think a lot of the members, I'm a very smartphone person, but I think a lot of the people who are more senior would struggle with smartphones and PCs, so they do manage with that system. So that's an amazing system. But yeah, things like the RNIB library, the Calibre library, Audible. I think a lot of people just won't know that the various ones exist. They might have found one, but they won't have found the other. So it would be great if through this group we could create a resource where we can have a list of all the ways you can access these books that we build up over time. That would be great.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So yeah, this is. Thumbs up to everyone for this happening, and whatever form it takes, I think it's very positive.
Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you. Thanks very much, Ian.
I was thinking if we have maybe 2 more people quickly speak, because I just want to put some suggestions. I've been making some notes what we can do moving forward, because it's already 10:02. So
we've actually got 3 with their hands up. So if we can get through, don't do those 3, and then we'll come back to you guys. And if that's all right. So Susanna, you were next.
Yeah, hi everyone. So basically, I think I just kind of wanted to chime in my 2 thoughts and say, along with, I think a few other people have said, like Sharon, etc., maybe looking more for information on the sort of technology side of things in terms of what's available, particularly around what software people are using. I'm still very fortunate that I still got a lot of really good vision, so it's more sort of prep for the future, I should say. So I think that the research that I've seen, it seems that Audible is obviously the predominant sort of player on the market at the moment for using audiobooks. And I think my frustration with that is obviously it's another subscription underneath the Amazon. Most people tend to pay Amazon Prime anyway, and you're paying them more for than the audiobooks. And and I just get frustrated that that's how it kind of works. I mean, it gets a money-making business sort of thing, etc. We're just not getting at that. But I think as well, like what I've seen from alternatives out there. So if you're on Android, there's things like Spotify Premium where you can get audiobooks on, but again, you get limited hours with that. I think there's the option to buy more hours, but again, it's my frustration with all the, and then for Apple, I think there's like an Apple iPlayer equivalent to Spotify. But I think my frustration with all these things are like the additional sort of cost that we're having to pay to access the books, or the sort of limitations around it in terms of like the number of hours you're only allowed per month, etc. Or other than Audible, maybe Spotify, like you may be limited in some of the titles you can access. So I think from my perspective of what we maybe be looking for out of this sort of group, maybe it's something that kind of like dovetails. We've got one that does more the sort of book club action element, and one side of it does more the sort of like technology, trying whatever software apps are out there, and also maybe just seeing like maybe getting a bit ahead of ourselves, but like, you know, what can we do to actually influence what's available to people with vision loss, so that we're not getting like tied into these sort of like either costly subscriptions or limited subscriptions. So yeah, that's kind of like what I was kind of looking for coming into this.
Fabulous.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thanks very much. John Darker next, and then Toby, and then we'll come back to you guys.
Yeah, thank you. I'll endeavour to be brief. So I've been trying to think about how possibly we could organise it. We do this with so many different requirements, which are all great. Would it be possible to say review, as there are a lot of us, 2 different genres, 2 different books every 2 months? You might have to have a meeting that's longer than an hour for that. I don't know. Not too experienced with these book clubs. And then in the meetings in between, could you then focus on other stuff? So that could be technology. It could be people suggesting other books to read. It could be authors. It could be anything else. So it wouldn't mean a meeting every month, but I think if we want to try and get the most out of this club, then that might be necessary, certainly to start with. So, and I use Audible on my iPhone. So, but I appreciate there's lots of other different ways, and it'll be great to try and encompass all of that and see what else is out there, and what's best for some is not best for others. So, thank you.
Yeah, no, thanks. Thanks, John. And Toby.
Hi, good evening. Personally, I use my my iPhone to listen to audiobooks. I use several apps on it. I use the Easy Reader, and then I also use Spotify. Somebody mentioned earlier, you get with Spotify Premium, you get I think 15 hours per month, which is pretty much one book, I suppose. And then I also use something called BorrowBox, and BorrowBox is an app which is set up via your local library. So again, it's completely free. So those are the ones I use, and I typically sort of Bluetooth the phone with a sort of headphones and use that. I mean, the thing that I would like to encourage just for the future, really, and it might be a bit of a pie in the sky, but I've got a set of AI glasses, and I wear those when I go out walking, and I listen to audiobooks through the Spotify app, and they can tap into the AI glasses. But the AI glasses only are compatible with certain apps, and they're not compatible, for example, with the Easy Reader app. So I think something in the future that would be pretty useful to get on IB2 to do to link up to the AI glasses if possible, because I know they are very conscious of the visually impaired community using these AI glasses, and I know they're trialing them with Be My Eyes and things like that. So that's just something that we may want to bear in mind for the future. But I think that would be pretty good if you could get the Easy Reader app to link in with the glasses, because I think that's the way, things are going, looking forward. But yeah, I really personally, having a meeting every 4, 6 or 8 weeks, I'm up for that. And personally, I quite like the idea of discussing a book or discussing 2 books. And if people can read them both, all well and good. But if you just actually fancy one and not the other, at least read that one and participate in that part of the conversation. But yeah,
Just out of interest, what AR glasses do you use?
the Meta.
Oh, okay. And you can't use Easy Reader?
They're basically they link with certain apps. Well, I mean, if you can use the Easy Reader, I don't know how you do it because I haven't been able to link the two. But yeah, with Spotify, it works perfectly for music and for the books. But it only works with certain apps. Yeah, if it doesn't work, then obviously just use normal sort of headphones or whatever. But going forward, it'd be nice if Easy Reader could link in with them.
I'll find I have Meta, so I'll look because I've not even tried.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I add something very, very quickly? It's Linda here. Sorry. I'm hearing all this about technology and I'm very overwhelmed because I do struggle with technology. So it would be nice to have some simple, straightforward the sessions for those of us that do have that struggle, especially since I've lost most of my vision now. And I can't adapt to the spoken voice only. But I mean, all this is wonderful to listen to, but I've got a huge amount of learning to do. But appreciate anything that we do. Thank you. That's all I need to say.
No, thank you very much. That's very important.
I just wanted to run through a couple of things quickly. One of the things that wasn't mentioned was iBooks. So that's an app on the iPhone where you get lots and lots of free books, and you can also buy books, but you have to listen to that with the voice of the iPhone. So that's the downside of that. So I just wanted to mention
that's a huge downside.
It is.
Because one of the beauties is hearing the actual a huge voice.
100%. But if it's still an option for people that literally can't afford it because you get a lot of free books on there. And then the other thing was, I was thinking maybe from listening to everybody's thoughts, to have potentially 2 halves of the session. So then people can tune into the bit that interests them. So one half of the session could be discussing a book and the other half of the session could be discussing technology. And then I'm going to speak quickly because obviously Jane's going to want to say something too. And then I think also have 2 halves, and then maybe we could find one particular person in the technology half where they talk about a particular platform that they use. So for example, I use Audible and RNIB Books app. So I could talk about the RNIB, or another person who uses Audible and could explain how that works. And every week we could have either one person talk about a platform or 2. And the other suggestion is in the WhatsApp group, we could have a vote on what books we could all put. Me and Jane could suggest maybe 2 or 3 books, and you can vote for the one book that is the most votes. That's the book that everybody reads. And we'll just change the genres regularly. And then also vote on everyone. We can just do fun votes like on the WhatsApp group. What technology do you use? And we can not just that bit, give us a really good idea for if most people use Audible, it'd be helpful for those people that don't understand it. And if there's only one person that uses, for example, that large fixed product, it might be that actually someone else might find that more useful than using an iPhone. So I feel like that's what I was thinking. And Jane, what was your thoughts?
I was thinking very much along the same lines, Cindy. I think it's been a really, really fantastic first
It
meeting.
has, very.
We've had some fantastic comments and views, and I think we can fashion something that will suit everyone. And I accept that we're all different. I think you're right, Cindy, about maybe splitting the meeting, but I did wonder how everybody thought about maybe making the next meeting the technology meeting, the following one the book meeting, and then after that there would be time then to do half and half, because I think trying to do half and
I
half
agree,
straight
Chanel.
away, we might end up.
That sounds like a good idea. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I do the other thing.
Does anybody not think that our suggestions are a good idea?
I don't think anybody's going to say no.
It's rubbish.
Well, hold your peace then. Hold your peace.
My only other.
Fine.
Sorry.
I think they're fine. Yeah.
Yeah. The only other thing I was going to say was that clearly, to get us started, should we have the next meeting in, say, 5 or 6 weeks, and then another one 5 or 6 weeks, then go to 8 weeks when everybody's kind of up to speed and we've got into our groove and we know what we're aiming for, so that we try and cover a bit more ground early on, or we can just go with the 8 weeks, whatever anybody wants to do.
I think two, not so far apart would be good.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I think 6 weeks should be all right. I think, Jane, 6 weeks to start with should be okay. And then depending on how much progress we make, then we can probably move to 8 weeks. But 6 weeks to start with probably sounds okay to me. Yeah.
Has anybody not spoken and would like to say something that we haven't discussed? That's really good.
I've spoken, but I will say, if you go 8 weeks, I'll have forgotten what the book was about.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll have to look at if it's 10 hours, I'll have to read it in a week before we meet.
That's what I do anyway with my book group.
We might actually decide once we've got into this, we might decide that actually we do a non-book one every 8 weeks, and we do a book one every 5 weeks or 4 weeks.
Yeah, there is no rules. Yeah,
there's no rules yet at all. And the other thing I wanted to ask quickly is everybody happy if we went with a Thursday in the future?
No, I'm not.
You're not. Oh, right. Trust you, Cindy.
Because I work late on Thursdays. So
right. Okay.
Any other day is fine with me.
Is there anybody else that's got a really, I cannot ever do a day?
I can't do Tuesdays.
We could do Wednesday. Does Wednesday work? When Mondays seem to be more, as we're growing our peer support group online network, we're kind of opening it up now. It used to be Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, but we're now knowing that Mondays are coming into play as well. I know our Berkshire peer support group does meetings on a Monday evening, but it's only, every once a month they do them until they go in person. So, there is Mondays to look into.
Wednesdays is good.
Wednesdays is good. Yeah.
Wednesday could be good. Yeah, sure.
Any night of the week for me at midnight, so it'll be 7 my time. So
yeah.
No.
That's
a hard no.
That's a hard no.
We have a vote on that.
Yeah.
No.
Our volunteers are committed, but they're not that committed,
So that means you can only join us at this time of year.
Even 10 p.m. is not okay, so never mind midnight at all.
That's good.
We are not insomniacs, though. Yeah.
We'll do the next meeting on a Wednesday, and we'll make the next one not too far away, and we'll make the next one about some technology. We're going to do some notes from this. And Mark,
does anybody volunteer to talk about their technology that they feel they're quite confident with?
Or they can put it in the WhatsApp group, Cindy?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. That
Think
sounds
about
good.
It. Yeah.
And if anybody wants to join the WhatsApp group, it's you, Mark, isn't it?
Yeah, so what we will do is we'll get the WhatsApp group up and running. And then if anyone does want to join it, please feel free to just reply to your auto response email or your invitation or your reminder saying, please sign me up, because we need written consent. And then we have mobile numbers already on it. If you're not on our database and you're not receiving our e-newsletter, then please do sign up so you can receive stuff from us, and we can keep you all up to date with all the other peer support groups.
Just one more thing. I am aware that somebody like Elizabeth doesn't do WhatsApp, and we don't want to
exclude
anybody. So if somebody would prefer to call in with their views and thoughts, I'm sure the office would be happy to.
Yeah,
I'm volunteering.
Yes.
Elizabeth has just left the group. That's what made me think of her. So, and I don't know whether it's worth you speaking to Elizabeth and.
Yes, yeah.
She does do email though, so we could.
There you go. She could email.
Yeah, she could email anything, and we can forward it over to the group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if anything, if we are sending anything out Audible, then we've got the capabilities into the office to send stuff out to anybody that does require stuff on flash pen or CD, like we do with our Audible versions of our magazine. So, so accessibility is crucial, and it's vital that we keep all of our community included in all of our peer support groups, whatever format that you'd like to join in and participate as well. So, but no, thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you, Jane and Cindy. There is more coming up from Retina UK. If you are a fan of our Talking Series peer groups, 19th of March, we have a Talking Travel, and we've got a hotel, a VI-friendly hotel, that's going to be speaking more about where they're located around the UK and abroad. We also have Talking Tech on the 24th. And we have assistive tech giants Humanware talking about a range of over 50 products that they've actually got that they're going to be chatting about. And the next online one, which will be our Spring National, we have an amazing guy called Stuart Han, who is known as the Blind Chocolatier, that's going to be talking about his sweet treats that he likes to make around Easter, including handmade artisan chocolates and Easter eggs, and also his shop that he has just outside Kendal in Cumbria. So we've got lots of online stuff. Please check out our website, local groups peer group page, and also at the bottom of your invitations we will always put you may also be interested in. So please check out all the latest peer support groups in those communications so you don't miss out on anything that we've got coming up, and that's both online peer groups, webinars, and also our in-person meetups as well, like our new South Wales group that we'll be launching on the 17th of March as well, which is going to be our new in-person peer group. So, do you guys want to close the meeting?
I was just going to ask whether you, Cindy, and I could just stay on for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But I've really enjoyed the meeting, so thank you everyone for coming.
Yeah, thanks
everybody.
Thank
you, Cindy. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. All the best. Enjoy your evening.
Bye.
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 Thank you. Bye-bye.
We hope you've enjoyed this Retina UK peer group recording. If you have any questions or queries regarding its content, or you would like to leave us some feedback, then please do get in touch. You can contact us via our helpline on 0300 111 4000. Call the office team on 01280 821 334, or alternatively, you can contact us via email at services@retinauk.org.uk. If you are interested in creating your own peer support group and assisting Retina UK to grow our peer support group network and join our amazing team of volunteers, then please do get in touch by contacting us at info@retinauk.org.uk and speak to a member of staff to see how you can get involved. Thanks again for listening, and please stay tuned for more peer support group recordings coming throughout this year. Take care and all the best. Bye for now.